So Master Rule 5 is still going to be the talk of the town forever. And we're going to start a 3-part series and we're going to talk about the top 5 synchros post Master Rule 5. What's going on, you guys? Slim here to make every synchro player's dream come true and talk about the cards that I know you guys will be playing post Master Rule 5. I'm super excited. I myself absolutely love synchro monsters, and I have ever since I first got Stardust, Red Dragon, Archfiend, all the OG ones that came in the tins, for those of you that remember. It's gonna be insane. I got a list compiled by you guys, also some of my personal thoughts. I got some honorable mentions in here, and hopefully it's just a great video. I know you guys liked this formatting last time, so we're trying it again. So if you did, be sure to smash that like button, and we'll go on to the next one in this series with the fusions and the XYZs. If you guys are new here, consider subscribing. Make sure you hit that notification bell. It lets you know when I upload. And yeah, the top 5 synchros, they're going to be in no particular order. I just made the list for you guys, and you guys already know. I make it on, you already know, the Yugipedia app, because that's the way to go. You guys already know that's like one of my favorite apps, so that we can always just keep a nice up-to-date list of the best synchros and see how they change. So yeah, so we're going to go with the first one, which is going to be F.A. Dawn Dragster. So F.A. Dawn Dragster, I played this card before when I played the Crusadia Wombo combo deck. Basically, you just make this. It's a level 7, and you make it to have a spell or trap negate. It's pretty strong when you build your board of negates. It's just nice to have. Its defense is pretty decent, and I think a lot of people who have been playing these like Wombo combo decks still play this card. I played against the Draconet version of the Super Wombo combo deck the other day at locals, and this is one of the cards they make because it's so easy to make with your Destrudo and whatever level 4, level 3 you have, that you're just able to put on another negate, and it's just another form of interruption that the opponent has to deal with. And I think it's still going to be very relevant going forward, because everyone who synchros, you're going to try to still build a board of negates, and I feel that Dawn Dragster is still one of the best cards you can make. Spell and trap negation is super huge, and I think it's just going to be better because you need to be able to stop any pesky card that could try to break your board. The only card you cannot break is Dark Ruler No More, but other than that, I think you're good otherwise. So that's what I think on that. Next, and I think this is easily going to be one of the best synchros. It already is right now, and I think it will continue to be going forward, is going to be Ib, the World Chalice Justifier. I can't even say that name right, but anyways, you already know the Ib synchro. Yeah, I think this card, personally, I think this is one of the best synchros that's come out in a really long time. It does so much for the Wombo combo deck. You guys have seen, like, it's insane. I think the fact that you synchro, it searches, it goes to the grave, it does more stuff, it's insane. And in the Wombo combo deck, you guys already know how strong this is. And I feel the Wombo combo deck is still going to be something that people are going to experiment with. I feel that they are going to realize, okay, I don't have to link climb as hard. I basically can just put up a bunch of synchros and just, kind of control the board from there. So that's basically what they're going to do. And I think Ib really helps with that. I think Ib is a very, very strong synchro, and I think it's definitely going to be one that we see continuing going on into the new format, into the new rule change. Now, one disclaimer, now that we got the second one out of the way, is that this is if the ban list doesn't hit any of these cards. I personally don't think any of these cards are going to get hit, because even if they were to get hit, I don't think any of them are ban worthy. So I feel that at worst they'd go to 1, so you could still play them. That's just a little disclaimer in case anyone's wondering. And that'll be how it is for fusions and XYZs as well, is granted that they don't get hit on the ban list, but I really don't think they will. But yeah, Ib is insane. I absolutely love it. At number 3, we got Junk Speeder. Now, this is like the most hyped synchro right now. The fact that, this card is nuts. So I honestly did not know exactly what this card did, and then I realized if this card is synchro summoned, you special summon as many synchron tuners as possible with different levels from your deck. Like, that's just insane to me. That means that you can just spam the board and you can build this absolutely insane board of negates. All the synchron tuners and stuff, they're all different levels, so you can make some crazy, like, just end boards. And we've already seen some of the channels have shown what the deck can do with Junk Speeder. And yeah, I really believe this is going to be the time that synchro decks really come back, and I totally welcome it. It's been years since we've seen like synchro heavy decks do a lot of things. They used to be able to abuse Level Eater a lot, and the Level Eater is gone now. I feel that they're still going to be able to do plenty, so I think we're going to see a big uproar in synchro monsters, and I think it's going to be really strong. And Junk Speeder is definitely going to be one of the best cards. The card is very easy to make for that deck. It's a level 5, and I think that a lot of players are really going to try to abuse this, especially anyone who is a diehard synchro fan, and also anyone who loves Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. I know the majority of you do. That was easily one of the best of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, if not the best one of all time, and I think a lot of players who love synchros are really going to try to incorporate this card and really just try and synchro spam their way into like crazy boards, and I'm sure there'll be negates and stuff that they can build to even play around Nibiru. So I see a lot of positive things happening for Junk Speeder and Synchro decks and as well, and I really hope that they don't get nerfed because I really want to see them finally do something. They're finally free, and I can't wait to see what they do. Next, I've got Shooting Quasar Dragon. So pretty much on the same level as Junk Speeder. It was so hard to make this card, and now I think with the release of, basically the release of not having to play links, I think Shooting Quasar could definitely come back. I myself have played against this multiple times, and let me tell you, this card was such a pain to beat. Like, I won't even lie, like, it was easy. I got lucky a few times having, the ability to play around, play and get over the card. But in reality, it's been so many years. This card is still really strong, and even though there are ways to counter it, as there always are with cards in Yu-Gi-Oh!, I think that it'll take people by surprise. The fact that you can play multiple is crazy. I think that players will even find ways to make multiple Quasars, so I think it'll be nuts. Again, Nibiru is a card, Dark Ruler No More, all that stuff is a card to be able to negate, any kind of board they put up with this, but that doesn't really matter when, especially they're going first. If you're not main decking Nibiru, if you're not main decking Dark Ruler No More, which I really don't think a lot of decks will definitely be not main decking Dark Ruler No More. I could see Nibiru possibly making a comeback to the main deck, especially when this, rule goes into effect. But other than that, I think Shooting Quasar is going to be such a crazy deck to see. Like, see it go off, see it just do all these crazy things. I'll always remember when I played against WK Dad years ago. Like, shout out to you, Darnell. I know you remember our game. Like, man, this man and his synchros. Like, I remember, everything he was doing, building this crazy board, putting up Quasar and all these like crazy synchros was absolutely insane. And I always remember that, easily one of my favorite games I've ever played against one of my favorite people. And yeah, man, I'm waiting for WK Dad to come back with some crazy Quasar just wombo combo. Like, you're gonna get destroyed on turn one deck. So I'm super excited. Like, I myself think I need to finally try to play a Quasar deck or something new, because I'm super juiced to finally play this. So yeah, all for that. So yeah, Shooting Quasar Dragon. Next, I have TG Hyper Librarian. So TG Hyper Librarian, this card might be the one that does have to get hit, because every time you Synchro Summon, you draw a card. So for those of you that ever played the plant deck back in the day, my god, like, this deck was absolutely insane. And I think, man, like, literally there were combos where you could draw multiple cards, set up this crazy board, and just, completely outright just beat your opponent. The Plant Synchro deck was absolutely insane. It was easily one of the best decks to ever come to Yu-Gi-Oh! It was the Tour Guide Tengu Plants, for those of you who aren't familiar with it. It was the deck that Billy Break won back-to-back YCSs with. It is a deck that was the most represented in Top Cut at pretty much every event until the deck finally got nerfed. The Plant engine was so funny because it was just a small, I think it was like 4 plants at the time. I want to say it was Dandelion, Spore, Glow Up Bulb, and I think 1 Lone Fire. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you're down in the comments, let me know if I'm missing something. And you had Debris Dragon, you had all these crazy things you could do, and yeah, it was one of the craziest decks ever in Yu-Gi-Oh! And it won so many events. And it's crazy to think that, yeah, we don't have the deck in the same capacity we did years ago, but we could definitely still see a resurgence of Hyper Librarian decks. You do have multiple Hyper Librarians. The card's not even at once. You can play multiple. I don't know if multiple will come up, but they do stack, so you will draw a ton of cards. So it'd be crazy to see. I know you Synchro players out there are coming up with something, so it'd be pretty crazy. But yeah, so those are basically the top 5. I actually wanted to put Don Dragster pretty much as an honorable mention, so we won't really count Don Dragster. I was looking at my list wrong, but Don Dragster can be like in the honorable mention category. The 5th and final synchro I think that will actually be played a lot, and it's a synchro that I really want to play a lot, is Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. I absolutely love this card, and I have loved Trishula ever since it first came out. I played the card even before I even touched Infernities. Like, I remember Infernities with triple Trishula. It was utterly insane and scary as all hell, but I still think Trishula is just one of the coolest synchros ever. The fact that it hits, hand, graveyard, field is ridiculous. Like, I think that is so ridiculous. It was the most powerful level 9. It came out in the dual terminal, came out in the hidden arsenal, and it was easily a staple in pretty much every deck that could play it. Any kind of deck that played a tuner that could get to level 9 played it, and I could definitely see this card, being looped in like some crazy wombo combo deck and hitting the opponent's hand, and that is pretty scary, I will admit. But right now it's kind of exciting just to think that a card that hasn't really seen the, the light of day in years can finally be played again. So I'm actually all for it. So those are my top 5. 5, the last honorable mention that I had to put on here, you guys actually contributed to this as well, is Cyframe Lord Omega. And the reason I put Omega is because I feel that if any deck is going to play Trishula, they're probably also going to play Omega to try to loop at least 4 cards. I think that Omega also being a level 8, a generic level 8, is pretty nice. I think when it came out, it was kind of underlooked, and then it was one of the best synchros in the Infernoid deck that won YCS Dallas a couple years ago. And I think after that, it became one of the most splashable synchros. There was a time we played 3 copies of it in the Minerva Lightsworn deck. Granted, it's at 1 again, but I think since it's so generic, it's so powerful, its ability to hit a card out of the opponent's hand, ability to recycle a card from the banish pile is just so insane, and it can just dodge out and, you know, avoid a lot of crazy stuff that can go on in the game. So I think it's pretty crazy overall, and I definitely would put that in Don Dragster as an honorable mention. And the other cards that I've included, I feel, are definitely going to be the top 5 synchros that come back to the game in Master Rule 5. But yeah, those are my thoughts, you guys. I'd love to know yours in the comments below. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, you know, be sure to give it one of these. It helps me out more than you know. If you guys are trying to purchase any of the synchros I talked about, you know, feel free to use my TCG player link. It's down in the description below. A portion of what you spend during your session, it goes back to the channel. It helps me out, and I really do appreciate it. But yeah, this is just video 1 of the 3-part series. Don't worry, those other ones will be coming. They might come after the new year because I got a special last video for the year for you guys, so I'm getting super excited for that. But I just wanted to start with synchros because, to be honest, I love synchros to death, and I can't wait to see what you guys come up with all the player base comes up with, and I can't wait to see the resurgence and the rebirth of these synchro decks because I'm all for it. I've been playing this game forever. I still remember getting my Stardust tin. I still remember getting my Red Dragon Archfiend tin. I still remember getting Damn Goyo Guardian, Thought Ruler Archfiend, all the old school synchros, and I remember just, wow, these totally changed Yu-Gi-Oh! And for those of you that remember those days, you guys remember the day you got your first synchros and how it just changed everything. Like, you guys know, Colossal Fighter was also insane. So I'm super excited. It's super nostalgic to see synchros come back, and I really hope that the ban list doesn't destroy them too hard because I really want to see all these cards I mentioned, as well as many others, definitely come back into the limelight in the game in the new format. But yeah, that's all I got to say, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.